I have a question.
Please, yes.
To make it more clear, are you allowed to go and eat in a friend's house?
In a friend's house, are you allowed to go in? Why not? Why would he say? What would?
Of course, no meat involved. I mean, my friends, for example, they already know that I don't eat meat, so they make vegetables food. I am allowed to go there.
Okay, you're allowed to go, but in a new situation, basically there is a big problem with vegetables, and that's what I spent today. I don't know, 30 minutes of my time. I was listening to Shiur, so I was checking the vegetables. So the big problem with vegetables, even everything, as we said before, that growing from the ground is kosher, but there is a big problem with vegetable bugs. And it's not so simple, so you have to wash it very thoroughly, dry it, and then check for bugs. That's what my wife washed it, and I was checking for the whole dinner for bugs. It took me some time. As I say, maybe half an hour. Some people just check this and that, but we're trying to go stricter. I mean, it's not like we have restaurant or whatever, right? It's I mean, so I check every piece of vegetable. Then I take it back. For example, we eat broccoli, so I would take every broccoli. It's okay. So take every piece of broccoli and check it. And we have no problem. And or we have salad, right? We have salad like lettuce, pieces of salad. So you have to check each piece separately.
Also, I remember now about broccoli. That vegetable is very difficult to check for bugs. If it's kosher or not?
Yeah, no, if you're not going to check, it's not kosher. But if you're going to check properly, it is kosher. So basically, I tell you what, I never ever found any bugs in broccoli. It's so clean. I mean, that they spray all of these vegetables. Why is this so perfect? They spray with all of these pesticides, right, to kill all the bugs around. So it's clean. I mean, with the other salads, I did found vegetables, and not vegetables. I did found bugs, but it's one or two. Like I don't know, maybe once a month. Once in 2 months I will find one dead bug. That's it. But no, like. But still, our obligation to check because it's a biblical prohibition from eating bugs. So many people, since they don't want to bother, they don't eat broccoli at all, or they do not eat cauliflower at all because it's harder to check. Understand?
I asked this
basically, if it was not properly checked, you're not allowed to eat just because it's vegetables. You're not allowed to eat. You understand? Unless there are vegetables that don't have bugs. To give you an example, potatoes don't have bugs. Tomatoes, cucumbers don't have bugs. But all of the salads, for sure, possible. I don't say they do have bugs. Very possible they might have some infestation.
Yes, they usually, at least the last time they cook something, they were not vegetables that are hard to check for, or may at all they don't have any bugs at all. For example, grains.
No. These bugs are tiny. They're small. You cannot see it. I mean, if you bring close to your eyes, so you can see it. So there are two ways to check for bugs. So one way you have a special lamp, ultraviolet lamp, right? So you can see, like, put against it. Some people, like in older days, without this lamp. So you put on a sunny day, on a bright day, you put next to the window, and then you see it, or you go outside and you check, like whatever you do. So I have this lamp, and I have a magnifying glass and light. So basically, I think it's 10 times magnified. So whatever is less than this, it's not halachically a bug. Basically, if I don't see it, so it's you can see under this lamp very clear what's going on, 100%. So okay, so that's but there is a different problem So I since you asked this question, so Jews are not supposed to eat in houses of non-Jews. It's forbidden. It's forbidden to eat, not because food is not kosher. The food might be kosher, but we're not allowed to eat, basically. But if they cook the food, that's the issue. Because, for example, they cook for you potatoes, right? Potatoes, let's say kosher 100%. But before potatoes, they were cooking meat. They would cook in pig in the same pot.
Oh. And I ask this because people, the audience in the Stamp the Rabbi series of Rabbi Lev, and they usually ask what I am going to do when I finish the conversion, how I deal with my friends. Must I stop visiting my friends?
Exactly.
What I do? So that's the reason why I'm asking this.
That's a reasonable question, but okay, it's a reasonable question. So I have to explain your friends. So I cannot eat in your house, or I bring my food. So basically, yeah. So even if just because let's say they cook spaghetti for you, they took a kosher spaghetti from a box, put it in a hot water, right? They cook, they put some salt. I mean, it's ready. What's wrong with spaghetti? Everything wrong with spaghetti. First of all, as we said, the pot is wrong with spaghetti, first of all. And second thing is you are not allowed, Jew is not allowed to eat something that it was cooked by a non-Jew. There is some respectable food. Respectable food, they say that fit to be on the table of the king. Spaghetti is one example. Potatoes, no problem. Kings eat potatoes; they're very tasty. You understand? But if they cook something that you can eat raw, so there is no problem. So what is an example? They bake an apple for you, right? So if they bake an apple, let's say absolutely kosher stove, absolutely kosher like a container, and what they baked, everything was kosher, and it's only egg, and they cut it with a kosher knife. There is no problem. So since you can eat apple baked or raw, so there is no problem with cooking. They call it bishul vacuum, like cooking as non-Jew. So, but otherwise, it's forbidden.
So the last question.
It's a summary. Yeah.
Assuming that all the requirements are met in a friend's house, I am allowed to say a bracha in front of them.
Yeah. I mean, what we say, only if a woman is not dressed properly, you cannot say.
I was about to ask that. But there is a woman there.
Exactly. So, but how do they have a kosher pot to cook these things? That's okay. So let's say I give you an example. So if they give you, I don't know, like tomatoes and cucumbers, and they make the salad with a plastic knife on a paper plate, so it would be allowed to eat. But once they start, just 1 second. So, but when they start using their knives, they cut pig 5 minutes ago with that knife. Okay, they don't serve you pig, but that's what they do. Guess what? This knife absorbed the pig, and now it's going to your kosher tomatoes.